Hello and welcome back. I'm Arjun Vishwanathan, and today I'm going to be in conversation with a solution specialist, a subject matter expert, talking about the whole role that technology plays in enabling organizations to modernize their business models. And to talk to me about all of this, please put your hands together to welcome KP Vinod Nair, Storage Business Manager, Dell Technologies. Vinod, welcome. Delighted that you could join us today.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Arjun, for inviting Dell Technologies.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Vinod, we have what promises to be an interesting conversation ahead. And my question to you first is the theme within Indian industry that has taken precedence far beyond anything else as a strategic priority is the whole concept of business modernization. But it's also true equally that business modernization by itself cannot be orchestrated without technology modernization. In your view, and from the perspective of Dell Technologies, how are you seeing Indian industry being able to converge technology modernization and IT modernization along with business modernization?
Yeah, so I totally agree with what you're saying. Without IT, today it is absolutely difficult
Indeed.
for business to move forward. And as we know very clearly, and we have seen it, that technology is no more the follower of business guidance, but a leader and enabler of growth. So, I mean, we've seen more and more business leaders are counting on IT to suggest next phase of their growth areas. And we'll also see that in the coming 3 years, widespread connectivity with 5G, data-driven insights, autonomous machines, automation, smart factories, cities, hospitals, and schools. And all this elements that we are talking about, technology is at the heart of it. So technology as an enabler for growth and incremental business is something which is given today. So from the perspective of convergence of tech and business, one of the biggest pieces today that we see is data-driven insights and strategic initiatives. 9 out of the 10 organizations now view data management and analytics as one of the top 10 business and IT priorities. The increasing importance of data in decision-making is very clear, with around 58% of the companies now using data to validate all or most of their business decisions. This is where Dell comes in to the picture with the leading solutions for data, storage, security, archival, and analytical spaces. So our solutions with the enterprise capabilities across most of the solution portfolios ensures that the features are available to the customers across segments.
That's actually interesting. And I did pick up one particular point that you mentioned, Vinod, which is the whole concept of automation. And you also spoke about data and analytics and data management. The question, therefore, also is that with the volumes of data that are being created today across organizations, especially with the explosion of sensors, connected devices, connected people to the largest degree. How do you see data management architectures being imperative in the overall scheme for automation to actually become a reality? Because we've been speaking automation for a long time now without realizing that automation has data in it as its foundational pillar. At Dell Technologies, how are you helping organizations understand, identify, and unlock the value from data?
Right. So, what we are trying to basically do is helping our customers to understand data by incorporating artificial intelligence. As you're aware that artificial intelligence is an umbrella term which was used in 1950s to describe machines that mimic some aspects of human behavior. And machine learning as an application of AI, where the systems use data to learn, respond, rather than being explicitly programmed. And according to McKinsey, it estimates that the contribution of AI to global production will be around $13 trillion by 2030. So what we are doing at Dell is trying to make AI ready for production, affordable and consumable. Therefore, our strategy is that AI in our products, wherein we are making products smarter by embedding AI directly into our products and making these products intelligent, automated, self-driving, etc. And what we are also trying to do is to bring AI on our products, which means that if there are customers, our products enable the customers to run their AI projects on them. The infrastructure that can run the broadest set of modern AI and ML workloads, all at peak efficiency and utilization. And also what we're trying to do is to bring AI for our own business. And by improving our business processes, making sure that, we are able to save costs and increase the revenue. In fact, we have more than 550 AI-oriented projects in motion and 200 AI experts across the organization. And within Dell Technologies itself, we are using AI to anticipate and automate, fix potential failures in the infrastructure products that we offer, and to reduce the support costs that we have and improve the customer satisfaction. So from that perspective, we are using AI to a great extent, and to ensure that we are able to help our customers.
No, it's interesting because I want to continue on the subject, particularly from the point of view of data, which is that with the volumes of data that is being created, and going back to the first conversation that we had, which is about the whole concept of business modernization, the journey for data from being a digital asset to becoming a strategic asset is a fairly long one, and one that is complex, where it is also about the creation of data, the collection of data from at source, and then the storage, and of course, then the processing, which will require compute. In that sense, do you feel, in your estimate, that the modernization of storage is perhaps one of the first steps that industry IT leaders and CIOs must take in order to progress on this modernization journey in a more sustainable fashion?
Absolutely right. In fact, that is in fact the most important aspect. The modernization of the infrastructure, the storage infrastructure where the data is going to be stored, is one of the most important factors in the whole journey. And it is very, very important for all our customers to keep their data safe and secure. And the storage devices that we are talking about today, to use the AI ML, to understand, to help reduce the process time, to ensure the data is secure, to able to throw out the output, very quickly is very, very important. So from that context, very, very important that, storage devices and storage products today have those features and abilities built in them to help the customers.
Let's, thanks, that is actually quite impactfully articulated. Let's move on to the other subject, which is the data today lends itself to different perspectives and activities, strategic activities, and one of them being the whole concept of the multi-cloud orchestration and workload transformation that's going on amongst a majority of industries today. In that sense, how at Dell Technologies are you assisting organizations, and what is your narrative in the overall multi-cloud journey and your ability to help and enable organizations to transform workloads, modernize workloads?
Absolutely. In fact, this is a very interesting question that you asked. What you said is right. Today, most of the organizations use various public cloud services. They have, their own private clouds. They have, many cloud operating in their enterprise, which creates a lot of complexity. And the complexity is in terms of multiple management consoles. You have the siloed cloud assets lying in different places. Data being hidden inside the organization where people actually don't get what you want to get. So you have silos not only in terms of data, silos in terms of management tools, in terms of cloud infrastructure, etc., etc. And then of course you have heard a lot about shadow IT being used.
Indeed.
So it's absolutely a complex environment today. And you'll find that each of these clouds which the organizations are using, they need different management interfaces, and they have a different process. So you have a lot of these operational islands with multiple clouds operating differently, used by different teams with a limited visibility across the complete organization. So this is a big challenge which most of the organizations are facing. And our view on the multi-cloud is that, point number one is that we think there should be a consistent application fabric, which means that you develop an application once, you run it across any cloud infrastructure. So that's the key. You run it, you don't have to worry about whether it'll run in this cloud, that cloud, etc., etc. And of course, depending upon the need of the workload that you put it across. And the second part, which is very, very important, is a consistent infrastructure fabric. You see, the problem is of having multiple clouds, different kind of infrastructure in each of those clouds, multiple management panes, which I mentioned earlier. So therefore, it's very important that applications should not only be portable, but they should have a single management plane for cloud. And so basically, the intent is to help the multi-cloud platform to accelerate and to reduce the risk and the cost associated with migrating apps to the cloud. So the point number 2 that we emphasize is on consistent infrastructure fabric. The third part is in terms of consistent data fabric. As we've been talking about data, the importance of data, etc., and how the data is playing the most important role today in businesses, right? And so it's very important that the data fabric in a multi-cloud environment should be used without compromising the control over your data, which is very important. So you should be able to use any service on any cloud without compromising the control over your data, which is very, very, very important. And in our vision, and in fact, our vision is for a multi-cloud is one where your infrastructure and operations are consistent across all your environments, allowing the freedom to place workloads where it makes most sense for the organization. So this is our view on multi-cloud.
And I personally feel it is also one that is relevant and contextual to the needs of Indian industry today. But Vinod, I must ask you also at this juncture to expand on your views on the whole need for cyber resilience, especially today in view of, the last 22 years, at least the last 2 years. I've seen a wide number of attacks by state as well as non-state actors and such. Your posture, therefore, from a Dell Technologies' perspective on cyber resilience as you help organizations move in this modernization journey, this multi-cloud journey.
Yeah. So in fact, you have asked a very good point in terms of security. I think it's a big, big subject, security in itself, and there are multiple types of security that we talk about, right, from infrastructure to network, etc., etc. And today we're talking about cyber security, data security in this discussion. So as we are aware, in fact, just give you some statistics here. Every second there are around 150 accounts, more accounts being hacked. Indeed. And an average cost of a breach today is US $13 million. With damages from cybercrime worldwide, it is expected to reach $6 trillion. So the more so damages are in various aspects, and this is increasing as we move forward. And from our point of view, what we think that organizations actually have to look at cyber resiliency as a strategy that incorporates people, process, technology into a holistic framework that protects entire business organization or an entity. And we think that adhering to NIST security framework, which sort of helps to identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover is something which will help most of the organizations. And from the data security point of view, I think we think the organizations should look at isolation of data, both physical, logical, preserving the original integrity of the data, and threat detection, alerting and reporting, and fast recovery with a minimal operational impact. So from the data security point of view, this is again a very important aspect. Like I mentioned, there are many areas of security, information security in an organization. From the data perspective, this is something which will help the organizations to ensure that the data is safe and secure. And there are multiple solutions that we bring to the table to address this. And in our opinion, what an organization needs today is a data vault. A data vault, like we have vaults in our home. We need a data vault. Should be there for an organization, and assuming the disaster recovery will help them to recover the data. That is not something called cyber recovery. So indeed, disaster recovery is not cyber recovery. And in our opinion, cyber recovery is a key enabler for cyber resilience.
Very interesting. Therefore, my question to you, as we move along in this conversation, is to understand from you how, and one of Dell Technologies' avowed objectives is to be able to foster innovation in much more significant measure. In your view, how does infrastructure modernization the whole concepts of multi-cloud and the whole concept of data help organizations from a Dell Technologies perspective in being able to drive innovation to incremental outcomes?
Yeah. So from the from the point of view of infrastructure modernization, which is of course as the times change, the infrastructure needs to change, and we have seen so many changes happening across our industry, and therefore it is very important that from our point of view, we should be able to offer customers choice, flexibility and predictability in terms of how they consume IT. And as a company, we offer sort of broadest portfolio of product solution services, which address the information technology, and helping in digital transformation. So the basic theme there is that you offer many choices and keep flexibility, and also ensure that how they consume IT helps the organization. The other thing that we are also helping, sort of our customers is also from the point of view of helping our customers to use our infrastructures, by testing them at our center of excellences, and ensuring that we bring those specialists who help them to, bring out the ideas which the customers have, by ensuring that we have a large skill force which are able to support. So from our point of view, of course, modernization of infrastructure, various products, be it storage, servers, client devices, and various other devices, which help an organization, needs to be modernized, and new features brought to the table, which help the customers to realize their business potential or business dreams they have, by buying in or using these products. And so that is where we are making those changes. I mean, of course, each of the products that we have in the category has got multiple features and benefits which help the organization to transform and to reach closer to the customer by quickly responding to the needs of their customers.
That's actually quite interesting, because I do have a view on the clock, and therefore, in conclusion, Vinod, if I were to ask you, your personal perspective and opinion, as well as from the perspective of Dell Technologies, is Dell Technologies as a partner in progress stands today to help industry commercialize and actually weaponize business strategy with the promises of incremental business outcomes, hyper innovation, and hyper competitiveness, such that they're able to march forward in a more resolute manner. In your consultative approach with Indian industry, what are the three imperatives that we can and industry can expect from Dell Technologies in the coming months that will help them speed up this journey?
Right. So
in a sense, I'm asking you, what is the innovation that is going to happen at Dell Technologies in order to help industry equally accelerate its journey?
Right. So so as far as as from that perspective, like I mentioned to you, that we as a company, we are trying to ensure that we are closer to the customer by bringing in newer technologies using AI and ML into our products, right, which help our customers to further improve their businesses from that point of view. That's the first thing. Number two is that, the new features and benefits which will help the industry to use our products in a better manner, and thereby helping to service their customers. The third part is we are also ensuring that from the India context, we are also, ensuring that we participate in the, in Government of India's initiatives like Make in India. We're manufacturing our products in India, some of them, which we are doing here to boost our position, as well as India market and the Indian economy by adding jobs. From the technology perspective, of course, a lot of new features and benefits, including AI, ML, including ensuring that how the data part is taken care of when you use our products and solutions. So I just hope that I answered your question.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for what's genuinely been a very enriching conversation, Vinod. But that's pretty much what we have time in this segment for. Thank you so very much. Deeply delighted that you could join us.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you. And for the audience, that was I, Arjun Vishwanathan, in conversation with Vinod Nair from Dell Technologies. Stay tuned with us. We'll be back with the next segment in just a minute.